Hi, welcome to Highcliff Elementary. My name is Ms. Amy Bialek. I'm going to be your child's kindergarten teacher this year. On the bottom of the screen, you can see my contact information. That is my email. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me this year. I'm going to hide my picture so that you can see the full screen of what we're talking about today. A little bit about me. I grew up in the North Hills. I live in the North Hills, and now I teach for the North Hills. So I'm a North Hills graduate. I have one dog and two cats. My dog's name, she's a puppy, her name is Grace. And some things that I like to do, I love to hike, I love to kayak, I love to paddleboard, and I love to do wheel throw pottery. Here's a schedule of what your child will be doing every day. We will go over in depth this schedule and how to do each subject as we move through our 5 weeks together on Zoom. At 8:30 in the morning, we're going to have our morning meeting. From our morning meeting, we're going to go directly into English language arts. During this time, we'll be talking about phonics, phonemic awareness. We'll be reading stories and talking about them. We'll be getting to know our classmates and bonding as a class. At 9:45, we're going to have something called LEAD. That's for learning, enrichment, and academic development. During this time, your child may do speech and language if he or she needs that. Your child may also be doing extra reading support or math support or seeing a different teacher during this time. At 10:30, we're going to have science or social studies. At 10:30, at the beginning of the year, we might be alternating this time to do some fine motor and art and craft projects. From 11:15 to 12:15, we have our lunch and our break. From 12:15 to 12:45, we have office hours. These are by appointment only, so I will not automatically be signed into Zoom. If you would like to talk to me or meet with me, just schedule a time, send me an email, and I will set up a time to meet with you between 12:15 and 12:45. At 12:45, we have math. 1:30, they have their special, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes. And at 2:15, we will have our closing and wrap up of the day. For virtual learning, your child will need some supplies. My recommendation is to buy a pencil pouch, which is 10 by 7. You can find them at the dollar store or at Target. They are on sale right now. You may want to buy duplicate supplies of this list so that when we go to hybrid, they can have one pouch at home and one pouch at school. That's completely up to you though. So at home, what we would like you to have is a pencil pouch, a box of 24 crayons. Sometimes I find, and you might find this too, that putting the 24 crayons in a Ziploc baggie helps children keep track of them better because the boxes tend to break. Blunt scissors. So when you're scissors shopping, you'll notice that some of the scissors have points and some are rounded. We would like the kind that are rounded. A large glue stick. When you're shopping, you may want to invest in more than one large glue stick because they do tend to run out quickly. And a pencil with an eraser. You'll be getting a special pencil from me that we'll be talking about when we get to handwriting. So these are some things that I am going to be sending home. When you set up your child's learning area, it's very important to try to keep all of the materials in one place. When we do go to hybrid or when we do come back into the classroom, your child is going to need to bring materials to school with them. So what you're going to get from me the day that you come for orientation with your child, you're going to get a box. And I suggest that you put all of your child's materials in this box that fit. For example, you're going to be getting a math workbook, a printing workbook, a journal, a binder, and in that box you might want to put also your pencil pouch. Your child is going to need a book bag. I suggest having a full-size book bag. Your overflow of materials could always be stored in the book bag. For math, your child is going to be getting a kit. So it's a Ziploc bag with some connecting cubes, some round counting chips. There are some dice in there. In our kit, you're going to be getting laminated papers. In those papers, there will be things like our alphabet chart, our how to write the alphabet. There's going to be a laminated white card that your child can use as a dry erase marker board. I will also be giving your child a dry erase marker. The binder is going to have all of the copied materials you will need for the first 5 weeks of school. You're going to be getting Ziploc baggies where I have pre-cut and prepared a lot of the craft materials that we are going to be using. In the box, you might want to also keep your child's iPad and charger, or in your area. We are going to be doing live instruction via Zoom. We will be going over how to get into our Zoom meetings on the days when you come with your child to orientation. The links will be staying the same for each subject. In the Google Classroom, there's going to be a category called Stream. The announcements and the list of our Google links for our Zoom meetings are going to always be in that Stream section of our Google Classroom. When your child enters the waiting room, the first time when they set it up, they're going to need to enter their name. And I do need your child to enter his or her name. This is how I can make sure that only the people who belong in our Zoom meeting will be in our Zoom meeting. Once you set it up one time, you should not have to enter their name again. We'll go over how to do that when I see you in person. There are some very important rules that we need everyone to follow when they come to a Zoom meeting. Students must keep their camera on. This is the only way that I can make sure that the people who belong in our Zoom meeting are in our Zoom meeting. Please have your child be in a quiet place, as free from distractions as possible. I know that there's a lot going on, that you may be working from home, that there's other students. Please try to find a spot in your home where there are no pets, no toys, no food. Please make sure the TV is off, that there is few to little, as little as possible, other people talking or things going on during our live Zoom meetings. Please make sure your child is fully clothed. We are asking students to wear clothes during our Zoom meetings. I know it's really tempting to do pajamas. I promise we will be doing some special pajama days. Stay muted. I will be unmuting your child when it is time to speak. If your child would like to speak, he or she can raise their hand. So there are 2 ways to do this. You can actually raise your hand and keep it up, and make sure you keep it up so that I can see you. I will also be teaching you how to raise your hand virtually via the Zoom app. Please be prepared when you come to our Zoom meeting. So if you are coming to math, please make sure your math materials are close by. If we are doing English language arts, please make sure your materials are close by. When we are talking about the space that your child is doing his or her Zoom meetings from, it's best that this is in a common area of your house. So lunch is going to be available daily. Your child will be getting his or her PIN number, so that's a 5 or 6 digit number. If you would like to order lunch, we're going to be getting you more information about how to do that daily. You may pick up the lunch at Highcliff Elementary. There's also breakfast included with that if you would like. If your family is unable to pick up lunch and your family needs lunch, arrangements can be made for delivery. There are applications for free and reduced lunch available. It's on our website. I will also have those the day that you come with your child. If you need help filling that out, I know that the forms can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information required. We are here to help you and can make sure that you are successful in filling out that form. We work on a 6-day rotation. So when you get information, it will be in cycles. So cycle 1, cycle 2. So when we're talking about cycle 1, it's thinking in a 6-day cycle instead of in thinking a 7-day week. Day 1, we have physical education. Day 2, computer. Day 3, music. Day 4, physical education. Day 5, art. Day 6, library. Each special teacher, which special will be the class that's listed is going to share their Google Classroom login with you. You will need to join that teacher's Google Classroom in order to see the information and assignments. When you are communicating with me, here are some ways that you will receive and share information. All of our announcements and newsletters and information will be in our Google Classroom. It will be in the stream section of our Google Classroom. Please, if you have questions, the easiest way to contact me is through the email listed below, bialeka@nhsd.net. I also do have an email that's linked to my Google Classroom. If you forget and accidentally send an email there, that is okay. The fastest way to reach me, though, is the email that is listed on the screen. To receive notifications from our district, please go to our website, www.nhsd.net. There's a tab that says Parents. Underneath that tab it says Connect with Us. Please click on that. You can sign up to receive text alerts as well as email alerts. When you come for the orientation with your child, please have your child bring his or her book bag and box of crayons if you can. So they must bring their book bag if it's possible. If you've purchased the box of crayons, that would be super helpful. During that orientation, your child will be receiving his or her iPad. I do need to let you know that their case will not be ready until September. So I will be giving your child his or her iPad in a cardboard box. We'll be going over how to log into that iPad. We'll be going over all the apps that we'll be using. We will be going over how to use our Google Classroom. Good morning, everyone. If I could have everyone today. So when your child comes for orientation, I hit pause because we are having announcements. So I'll just re-say this slide again. Your child needs to bring their book bag. If they have their box of crayons, please bring it. We're going over all of the apps that we're going to be using for those first 5 weeks. We're going to be going over how to use Google Classroom. Your child will be getting his or her login so that you will know how to get into Google Classroom. I will also be giving you some instructions and tutorials about how to use Zoom. When you come for your orientation, you and your child must wear a mask the entire time. Please make sure the masks cover your nose and your mouth. I think I heard one of the best pieces of advice from a parent that she was struggling to get her child to wear his mask, and she had him wear it only when he was playing video games that he loved. So he started to associate wearing that mask. Oh, I can only play video games if I'm wearing my mask. And that seemed to really help them. So please start practicing how to wear your mask and your child's mask with them. We're going to go over what we're learning this year now for our kindergarten curriculum. We are going to hopefully be doing some guided reading. Once the students come back to school, we're going to work on how to hold a book, how to handle a book. It's really exciting because students get a book that is just at their level. It connects, guided reading helps connect students with books that they can read, whether they know 0 letters or whether they're reading at a very advanced level. I want to let you know too, just as a quick overview, memorization and repetition is the first step in this process. So when we start talking about it, please don't be concerned that we do that. We do talk about pointing underneath each word at the beginning. We do talk about we don't sound words out when we're reading in kindergarten. So we'll go over this more when we get to this point. I just wanted to give you a brief overview. Some ways that you can help your child be a better reader is when your child is reading or when you're reading with your child is ask them some questions. Does what I'm reading make sense? Does what I'm reading make the picture match the picture that I'm seeing? Does what I'm reading look right? If I say, this is a silly puppy, but the letter is a D, could that word be puppy or is that word dog? And does it sound right to my ears? Puppy, this run dog doesn't sound good to my ears. But if I say the puppy will run fast, that sounds better to my ears. Ask questions with your child when you're reading. What is this story about? What do you think might happen next? How are the characters feeling? Does this story remind you of anything? Have strategies for unknown words. Like I said before, in kindergarten, we do not sound out words when we are reading kindergarten books. So when the child is reading his or her own book, we do not sound out the words. What we do is a strategy called get your mouth ready. So what that means is to say the first sound in the word and then check the picture for something that starts with that sound. Here's just a really good visual that I like that reinforces one of the most important things you can do with your child is read to your child. Read to your child at least 20 minutes a day. And this shows you when you read to your child 20 minutes a day, how much your child learns throughout their life. In math, we're using a program called Math in Focus. Our program is focused more on concepts than procedure. So we teach our students to be thinkers and problem solvers rather than just memorizers. We spend a lot of time on number concepts in kindergarten. You might see what we're doing and think, why are they still doing this? We really explore numbers fully. We compare numbers, we contrast numbers. We talk about bigger, smaller, how do you know? How can you tell? We talk a lot about prove it and show me. Our social studies program this year is all new. Some of our themes are all about me. We're going to be talking about our friends, our family. We're going to be talking about how to cooperate and solve problems. We're also going to be learning about our world. We're going to be learning about our school, our neighborhood, and our environment. In science, we're talking and learning about trees. We will spend time learning about trees through all of the seasons. We will do a unit called Animals 2x2, where we compare and contrast goldfish and guppies, pillbugs and sow-bugs, earthworms and redworms. We'll talk a little bit about endangered species, and we will do a unit called Push, Pull, Go, which is one of our favorite units in kindergarten. We use a program called Handwriting Without Tears. You're going to have an app on your child's iPad that we're going to be going over. I will be creating videos to help your child learn their correct pencil grip. If you think about it, think about your thumb, your pointer finger, and your tall finger. Those are the three fingers we would like on the pencil. Your ring finger and pinky finger, we tuck into the palm of our hand when we're writing. You will notice in your child's toolkit from me that there is going to be a very small white pencil. Research has found that small children do better with small tools. So if we think about it as an adult, have you ever had one of those giant souvenir pencils and tried to write with it? It feels very awkward in your hand. That's how sometimes a regular sized pencil can feel to a small child. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with our white small pencils. When we talk about scissor use, we talk about our thumb on top, two fingers on bottom, opening and closing. I'll be sending you lots of ways to practice this with your child. Some things you can do are stringing beads, playing with Play-Doh, tearing up paper, practicing cutting lots of things. You'll also be getting some practice from me in your child's binder. When we work on printing, please have your child practice printing his or her name with one capital letter followed by lowercase letters. One of the most important tips when helping your child with printing and handwriting is that we start our letters at the top. So we have a great song. Where do we start our letters? At the top? Where do we start our letters? At the top. If you want to start a letter, then you better remember to start them at the top. So that's one very helpful tip when you are working on printing. We do have 5 rules in our kindergarten classroom. Keep your hands to yourself, follow directions the first time, listen when anyone speaks, say only nice things, raise your hand and wait your turn. At Highcliff Elementary, we focus on something called growth mindset. Growth mindset is believing we can improve our abilities if we work hard and change the way we work at challenges and mistakes. So really, what we talk about here at Highcliff is that the power of yet. That it's not that I can't do something, it's just that I can't do it yet. And how can we learn how to do something? We can work hard and we can keep trying. I'm going to share my picture again so you can see me. I am looking forward to meeting all of you at orientation. Please feel free to contact me with any questions at my email, bialeka at nhsd.net. I look forward to meeting you soon.